All of it was present during those instances of intense expectation: the rapid increase in speed of the right wing, the effortless and strong movement, and of course, the striking hair. This was a time before hockey players became indistinguishable, hidden beneath helmets, and were instead akin to heroic figures, dramatically affected by a gust of wind, as if in a Hollywood film. Back then, no one referred to it as flow, but this was the most impressive of them, symbolizing only one thing, called speed. Are you ready to dive into the captivating world of ice hockey and uncover the tale of an absolute legend, a legend whose name can never be forgotten, the triumphs of a true hockey icon, whose prowess on the ice was as mesmerizing as a shooting star across the night sky? The legend, Guy Fleur, an ice hockey player who etched his name into the annals of the sport history. Guy Damien Fleur was born on September 20, 1951, in Thurso, Quebec. He is known by his nickname, The Flower, and lit demon blood. He was a Canadian professional ice hockey player. Fleur was the first player in the National Hockey League to score 50 goals in 6 consecutive seasons, as well as 50 goals and 100 points in 6 consecutive seasons. During his early years, Guy Fleur displayed his exceptional talent in the realm of ice hockey. As a young player, he participated in the Quebec International Pee Wee Hockey Tournament for 3 consecutive years, from 1962 to 1964. His remarkable performance during these tournaments resulted in him setting a record with an impressive 64 points scored. Fleur continued to shine as a teenager when he joined the Quebec Ramparts in Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. His exceptional skills and leadership abilities were evident, showcasing his incredible ability to score 130 goals during the regular season. Throughout this period, Fleur looked up to the legendary figures of John Béliveau and Bobby Orr, finding inspiration in their playing styles. It was during his time that the Ramparts that Lefeu earned the nickname Le Turbo de Thurso, a moniker given to him by John Bernard Rainville, a renowned broadcaster from Radio Canada. During the 1971 NHL Amateur Draft, the Montreal Canadiens had their eyes on promising prospect Guy Fleur and Marcel Dayan, both hailing from Quebec. The Canadiens' general manager Sam Pollock was determined to secure one of the top 2 picks and made efforts to arrange a trade. He struck a deal with Charlie Finlay, the owner of California Golden Seals, offering Montreal's 1970 first-round pick and veteran player Ernie Hickey in exchange for the Seals' 1971 first-round pick and Francois Lacombe. As luck would have it, the Auckland team ended up finishing last in the league, granting Montreal the coveted first overall pick. Pollock found himself torn between Fleur and Dion, but ultimately made the decision to select Fleur as their first draft choice. Fleur received little ice time in his rookie season, as the Canadiens were deep in veteran players. During his first 3 seasons, Fleur struggled to live up to the expectations in the league, as he posted average statistics. By his 4th season, Fleur had developed his trademark smoothing skating style and scoring touch, making him one of the most popular players on a very popular team. Fans chanted, "Guy, Guy, Guy," whenever he touched the puck. Fleur was described as a Jackson Pollock painting on ice, a frantic innovator who pushed the boundaries of his art beyond what has ever been conceived. However, opposing players often hooked and slashed Fleur, but he never retaliated. Fleur wasn't a quiet guy, and if you look at his era, there was not a quiet time. Fleur was a product of the 70s. Those who encountered Fleur personally lauded his down-to-earth persona and humility. Fleur became known among English fans as Flower due to his literal translation of his surname, while among French fans he was dubbed Le Démon Blonde. He was one of the several players nicknamed the Flying Frenchman. Fleur was the cornerstone of the Canadiens' 4 straight Stanley Cup championships, including being named playoff MVP in 1977. Boston Bruins head coach Don Cherry ordered his players to put their sticks up and hit Fleur whenever they encountered him. At the end of the series, Fleur's head was swathed in bandages after numerous slashes from Bruin players. After Montreal won the Stanley Cup, he borrowed it for a weekend without telling anyone to show his friends back home in Thurso, where he set it out on the front lawn for all his neighbors to see. Fleur released the album Fleur, consisting of Guy Fleur reciting hockey instructions accompanied by disco music. Guy Lafleur continued his passion for the game, taking part in numerous old-timer games that took him across Canada. One of his stops was the game in Labrador City, a mining town in western Labrador. Accompanied by Steve Shutt, Lafleur was received as a true hero, joining the community after the game for a celebration at the local Knights of Columbus Hall. From 1980 to 1985, the Montreal Canadiens experienced a decline and witnessed the retirement of a key player like Ken Dryden and Jacques Lemaire, making the end of their dynasty. They were eliminated by the Minnesota North Stars in the second round. Lafleur's 1980-81 season was plagued by injuries, leading to a significant drop in his performance compared to his previous seasons, where he consistently reached or surpassed 100 points and 50 goals. Furthermore, he was overshadowed by the likes of Mike Bossy and Wayne Gretzky in subsequent years. During the 1980-81 season, Lafleur had a frightening incident when he fell asleep while driving and crashed his Cadillac, narrowly avoiding a serious head injury. His playing time was limited to 51 games, and he scored 27 goals, failing to reach the 50-goal mark for the first time since the 1973-74 season. The Canadian seasons ended in a surprising first-round sweep by Wayne Gretzky Edmonton Oilers. The Canadiens recorded their first losing round since the expansion era began. Head coach Bobby Berry was replaced by Lafleur's former teammate Jacques Lemaire during the season. Although Lemaire initially brought success by leading the Canadiens to playoff victories, the relationship as coach and player proved challenging. Lafleur was an offensive-minded player, while Lemaire emphasized defensive contributions from all team members. The difference in approach created an ongoing rift that was never resolved. Lafleur's dissatisfaction with the situation led him to request a trade in 1985. However, the general manager, Serge Savard, refused to grant his request due to the potential backlash from fans and the media. With no alternative, Lafleur decided to retire, and his departure from the Canadian was marked by tension and strained relation with Lemaire. Following his induction into the Hockey Hall of Fame, Lafleur surprised everyone by returning to the NHL for 3 more seasons. He played for the New York Rangers and the Quebec Nordiques during this time. Lafleur didn't have to wear a helmet because of a special rule, and Wayne Gretzky even said that he was faster without full shoulder pads. In a game against Edmonton Oilers in 1988, Lafleur played incredibly well and received praise from Mark Messier. This led the Rangers signing him off to a 1-year contract. In his first game back at Montreal Forum, Lafleur was welcomed by a standing ovation and chants of his name. Just like his prime with the Canadiens, he scored 2 goals against Patrick Roy, but the Rangers lost 7-5. Although he wasn't as dominant as before, Lafleur had a decent time with the Rangers and helped them reach first place in their division until a knee injury ended his season. Lafleur played 98 games for the Nordiques, scoring 24 goals. He also mentored the up-and-coming star Joe Sakic. However, despite Lafleur's presence, the Nordiques had the worst record in NHL during both seasons he played with them. In his last NHL game, Lafleur was cheered every time he touched the puck and received a long-standing ovation when he entered and left the ice. The referee for that game, Paul Stewart, had coincidentally played his final NHL game against Lafleur's Canadiens back in 1980. During the 1991 expansion draft, the Minnesota North Stars selected Lafleur as the final pick, but Lafleur had finally decided to retire for good and agreed to an off-ice job with the Nordiques. Moreover, Lafleur was a licensed helicopter pilot. He was part owner of a helicopter transportation company. In the 1990s, Lafleur had his own brand of energy drink, Flower Power. Lafleur also owned a restaurant in Bertheville, Quebec, Guy Lafleur Mike's Signature, which opened in 2002. He also opened a restaurant called Bleu Blanche Rogue in Rosemère, Quebec in 2008, which was later closed in December 2012. In 2019, Lafleur faced health challenges, undergoing heart surgery and having cancer removed from his lungs. Tragically, in April 22, 2022, Lafleur passed away at the age of 70. A national funeral in Montreal, Quebec honored his remarkable legacy. Beyond his on-and-ice accomplishments, Lafleur's influence reached far and wide, inspiring countless athletes and leaving a lasting impression on the hearts of the hockey fans worldwide. So this is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Till then, see you in the next video.